state sit there as he talks about how Joe Biden in his diapers.
Yeah, how good the fish fillet is.
About whatever the is on his mind. But God forbid someone asks about Jeffrey Epstein. He's like, whoa, guys, bridge too far.
It's
okay.
I mean,
also, by the way, like, they're talking about it because the Justice Department just released a thing. His government just did a thing.
It's
like,
not
I don't.
Relevant.
What
but that's why he's.
It's also. It's like. I mean, it's funny as. Like, it can't be denied, and I don't think that he's doing himself any favors.
At the end, he spent 20 minutes talking about the decorations inside the cabinet meeting. Yeah, he literally spends like an insane amount of time talking about the 2 polls that he put up.
Listen. Can I talk for a minute about this thing I want us to not talk about? Excuse me. Can I do that? Can I just fucking do that as the president of the goddamn United States? Yeah, it's awesome. I love living with like the dumbest people in charge.
Reminder, the question wasn't directed. Interrupting a question directed at someone else with, are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein, is perhaps one of the worst eyebrow-raising ways Trump could... I didn't even realize it was asking someone else.
Yeah, they were asking
Pam Bondi. Who,
sitting on my desk.
Yeah, who also Attorney General of Florida, while Jeffrey Epstein was, very much alive and operating in the state of Florida.
Hell yeah.
As well. Didn't do anything.
And and look who's right between them.
Yeah.
Little Marco.
Client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
Who was in the
to him being an agent,
I also like this now.
That. We can get back to
if you're
you
asking
on that.
questions, it's because you want child porn released.
Yeah,
you pervs.
It's like, it's like...
Yeah, I bet you want to see it. That's what it is. It's like, no, dude.
Is it heads of state doing in the child porn? Like, that's the question.
I mean, the way they're going about this also definitely confirms that it is heads of state.
For sure.
Where they're like... I jokingly used to say, like, well, they worked really hard on it. You know what I mean? Like, the intelligence community worked really hard to do this blackmail, pedophilia operation. They're not going to just, like, leak it for no reason. You know what I mean?
Also, like, look, like, if it turns out that, like, a bunch of the people in it are, like, maybe the leaders of, like, a foreign nation currently engaged in a genocide that we're supporting, then, like, maybe that's not for the best.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who can say?
Well, isn't the, like, one, people, he worked for the Mossad or whatever, which is so funny if it ended up being, if the people he was working for were like, you know what? I'm just gonna go have a little. I'm just gonna go fuck a couple kids. This is what we used to blackmail other people. I just can't help myself. I'm gonna go over.
Well, I think it's
right there.
It is definitely to me a case of like, and it is kind of like a principle in espionage, which is like, prove to me you're not a pussy. Like, have sex with this child. And it's like he's the kingpin of that. That's why he's thus the most untrustworthy guy of all time.
Yeah.
I think about it, and it's like, in my mind, the only guy who's not implicated in this is Netanyahu, because like they just couldn't handle how his vibes were, so they never invited him to the parties.
Yeah. Also, he's like kind of domed by his wife in a very entertaining way.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
he gets pegged.
So his wife is a flight attendant who like just was like determined, like, I'm gonna marry you, and then and she's like famous for like abusing house staff, like it's a tabloid fixture thing. They're like
That's
crazy corrupt.
They're bad. She's a bad person.
Yeah,
shocking. Family.
But also, one of the funniest things that they do is they bring laundry every time to the White House.
Yeah,
have you heard about this?
What?
It sounds like an anti-Semitic canard.
They do laundry at the White House?
They bring their dirty laundry to the White House every time.
What? Is that... What do you mean? Who told you that?
It was in, I think, like a Politico story.
Yeah.
It was somewhere. But it was reported. Like, it's not...
Awesome.
It's unfortunately not something that, like, David Duke made up.
Yeah.
I really, like, I'm kind of pissed about that.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, this is from The Guardian. Like, that's how you know this shit is, like... It's not, like, even New York Post. It's
a
The
lot
Guardian.
of this also, it's, like, kind of also... It points to something else about these two, which is that, like, they own a lot of property. Or even if they don't own it, like... Essentially, like their son, like their fail son, was just like he was in Miami and forever.
Netanyahu is from like Philly, the Philly suburbs.
Yeah, like they spend a lot of time outside of it, of like Israel, and are like.
What's his real name? Did he change his name to Netanyahu? It's like
there's
some regular ass.
Malinowski.
My favorite Netanyahu fact: he likes to dip cigars in Cointreau.
What?
What's Cointreau?
liquor.
Like, are they cigar? Like,
I don't know. I read it. I think it was in that detail
so
is
weird.
from BB by Anshel Pfeffer. If I'm not mistaken, it's from that book is where I got that one.
Interesting.
But like I've like thought about that because like that's insane.
Why? To make his own flavored cigars?
I
To
think
make his own like cigarillos?
No, because he's a Philly boy. He wants black and milds.
Yeah.
But he's too
Dutch
highbrow.
masters.
He's too highbrow for the black and milds.
We can't get the technology in Israel. Gazans, they're no Philly blunts.
That pisses him off. That is gross.
Yeah,
it's gross.
Yeah, not a good guy when you think about it. But there was also there's a lot of internal strife amongst like the conspiracy right though currently about this situation because this is something that they stake their reputation on, right? Like the idea that it's like only Hillary Clinton was doing pedophilia,
right,
and Bill Clinton,
and
which by the way they definitely were,
yeah,
allegedly.
Bill was on there.
Not somebody who's going to get up every day.
Hey Hillary, why'd your husband visit Epstein Island 26 times?
Is this really necessary?
Yeah,
Trump and Bill were hanging out, having fish fillets on the way.
yeah. So now there's like a lot of animosity growing against these guys because this is the one thing that they do actually care about. So Alex Jones is on like a total copium trip.
Oh, it's awesome. It's special.
What's he up to?
Yesterday, Alex Jones came out and did one of his like fat guy in the car videos, and he almost cried. He was on the verge of tears, saying that. He believes Donald Trump is doing this because he's blackmailing the blackmailers.
He's a white hat.
He now has the blackmail, the pedophilia blackmail, and he's using it against the deep state.
We now just have Q out in the open. That's all this is. It's literally just like, all right, so Q used to have like this pretense of like, like there's like this guy leaving messages on 4chan or whatever. Now, like, you can just have it under your own name and be like, oh yeah, Donald Trump is white hatting it now. And that's like part of the party line. Like that's like within a standard deviation of like what like the Republican like party itself is saying.
Oh my God. Okay, so Gunther Eagleman. He's like one of these like right wing Twitter guys.
Is he a Nazi? It's a Nazi
I guess
name.
I'm blocked by him.
Oh, he looks.
This guy.
Is he Jewish? He looks Jewish. Is he from New
his
York?
His name is Gunther.
Gunther.
His name is Gunther Eagleman. Okay, but in any case, he says I would have never thought our government would just allow people to rape children on Epstein's Island and just let it slide. It's not okay. To which. Immediately, the blue check marks are like, are you really going to let Epstein be the deal breaker for Trump for you? Well, then why do you hate Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
Why do you hate Bill Clinton?
There was a tweet going around I saw that was like one guy like was going on and like he had like he wrote a whole essay as blue checks do, and at the end of it he was like, just move on.
Yeah. He was like,
move on.
He was
move
saying,
on is so good.
He was saying like, we all know he's a little bit of a pedophile.
Look, it's okay. Look, it's not perfect that he's a bit of a pedophile.
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
That tweet was so good.
And then Vincent, so just how would you prosecute if the evidence was destroyed by raising DC? And then the funniest response, oh no, it's not a response, it's Elon Musk. Never mind.
It's an ad.
The Elon Musk doing an ad for his own tweet on his own website. They arrested and killed Peanut, but have not even tried to file charges against anyone on the Epstein client list. Government is deeply broken. He thought this was a banger that he made an ad out of it. Dude.
I hate him so much, dude.
Who the is Peanut?
There was a one.
Hate him.
He was some OnlyFans guy who had a squirrel that like animal services like
right before the election, and it was like a right wing meme about how like like libs are gonna kill if you have like a squirrel.
I do remember that,
which by the way is like crazy now that like this is like the discourse like again as like like ICE guys. Who were the people in LA today? Yesterday in the park.
The military. There was I think
the National Guard.
The National Guard. Yeah, they were doing a show of force.
So he's literally just like re-microwaving memes from before the election.
What? Oh, Ben Shapiro believes Epstein killed himself, didn't run a blackmail operation.
Wait, sorry, hold on. Blackmail, yeah.
Not the smartest guys.
Oh my God.
Not the smartest guys. I mean,
I have a wild cherry Pepsi in my bag.
Ooh.
hedged their bets. People who never at any point suggested to you that they don't have data to back up the speculation, that the speculation was in and of itself
So gay, man.
the conclusion that if you speculate without evidence, that amounts to an actual conclusion to an investigation, they're going to be very upset today because it turns out that the DOJ and the FBI have concluded that Epstein didn't have a client list and died by suicide. According
Oh, okay.
okay.
Nothing to see here. I guess now we trust the government. I don't understand.
Well, isn't he getting kind of worked
Why does he look
over
like he's in a
done.
mother
Yeah.
Yankee Candle commercial?
He's partially done because like people, well, he's done because he's Jewish.
Yeah.
First of all, they're like, I don't think people understand how much like the independent media side of right-wing news and broadcasting has moved on from like
No, they're
the
purely
old-
and openly anti-Semitic.
Yeah. They went from like, if you're under the age of like 40 and you're right wing, you're probably a vicious anti-Semite.
It's crazy.
So across the board, they're like, oh, small hat guy defending Israel again. Like that's
Yeah.
his entire comment section is like that. And then also. Part of that is because like I think Asmongold just like took over that space for him.
That's
were just
crazy,
like,
isn't
I don't
it?
want this like nerdy. I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
like
yeah.
a guy that looks like me,
Right.
that I
A
can
cool
smell,
guy like
smell,
Asmongold.
yeah, smell through the camera, and not this like nerdy.
That
I don't-
actually is like why people don't understand this. Everybody's like, "Wow, how did Asmongold, the most like beautiful, wonderful guy of all time, become like this like major internet sensation?" What they don't understand
There's a
that-
lot of guys like that.
No, is that he did smell through the screen, which nobody ever did before. And that's like a f***ing, like breakthrough in the medium
Yeah.
that like your lazy ass could learn
Yeah.
a thing
Guys,
or two.
you don't have to be
Olfactory.
like that,
You
guys.
can smell his ass.
You don't
Yeah.
have to be
That's,
like that. I
like,
mean, yeah.
That should be applauded.
Olfactory is a new sensation for a lot of people.
Listen,
But
your
Asmongold
agent, your
doesn't get-
management's going to be calling you about this and being like, "Why aren't you up on this like
Yeah.
tomorrow?"
Does Asmongold get pussy, or there are disgusting whores that him?
There are, I think, at a certain point, there were women that had sex with him. I don't know. I don't know what he's up to in his private life.
That's just not the
anymore.
way. That's just not the way, fellas. Like if you're an incel out there, don't go down that route.
What do you?
Do not go the Asmongold route, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't-
they're already there.
You gotta get out. You gotta
Get out of the house, dude.
You gotta get out.
Get out of the house, even if it's like really hot out right now. It is. It's actually good for you. Sweat it out.
Cut your hair. It'll be fine, man. Take a
to
shower.
a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios. Now, again,
Cetaphil.
does this
face
put to
wash.
bed like all inquiries? Of course not. People can continue to speculate as much as they want. And I think there's still open questions here regarding how did Epstein make his money?
Sure.
And that's a very serious open question. The speculation for a
only
long
thing.
time
But
was
it's
he
not
made his money from
anything
blackmail.
illicit.
But the DOJ and the FBI, again, run by people like Dan Bongino and Kash Patel.
Yeah, saying I love that these guys think that anyone gives a
What's up
about
with his
Dan
eyebrows?
Bongino
I know, they're
or
thick as
Kash
fuck.
Patel.
Yeah, it's like he's like I need my shoe polish.
Eyebrows thicker than his sister's titties, if you ask me. What's up with her? She's still putting out content? Let's react to his sister.
Classically Abby.
Oh, dude. I mean, she's the goat. She's the method. She was so much the goat that, like, they literally found Femme Shapiro in a vat and then made
I
her.
know. What's up with that girl? Why, how is she? She's exactly like Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, but she's like, she was
kinda-
popping off, and
is
she
she
left.
st-
She left the Daily Wire after
Is-
she started popping off. What's her Brett Cooper?
Brett, a bitch named Brett. That's interesting.
That's a woman's name.
That's Brett. Men's
Wow,
name on
she
a woman.
literally looks like sexy Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, I agree. Like she does. She looks like Ben
You'll
Shapiro
probably
went through
think
an
that
AI
you know the
filter.
story.
Holy shit, dude.
what the?
But she's
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Look at
What's
these
that?
dudes.
What's the gay flag over Anne Frank?
Oh, that's awesome.
Elon's trans child fights Trump with drag, and Anne Frank was a.
lesbian. What?
Awesome.
I mean, this
AI
is,
wife question mark? Oh, so she's just doing the same shit.
yeah. The feminist attorney against Sabrina Carpenter. Like, so she does a lot of like pop culture stuff for the girly pops. But
Gotcha.
let's hear what
Do you
Ben
wanna-
Shapiro has
do
to
you
say.
wanna-
And Bondi are telling
yeah.
you. They are.
I'm
I'm not telling
very
you. They're
hungry,
telling you.
actually.
People who are members of the Trump administration, people you elected and put into these positions
I
to get you
told-
the
I
truth
told
on this
Eric to
matter,
pull up his
are telling
stats.
you
Okay.
that he didn't, in fact, he was not murdered. He did not keep a client list, and he did not blackmail powerful figures. Okay, right? That is the thing that they are saying. Not I. They are saying this.
So do you believe
If
it?
you're willing to throw that over and claim they're lying, then I'd like to see you present your evidence that they are in fact lying. Because I know Dan. I don't think that Dan Bongino is lying to me. I know Kash Patel a little bit. I don't think Kash Patel is lying to me.
His argument
I
is
don't
think these people are
know
lying to me.
him, he's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
lying.
that's-
Which means that if somebody else
incredible.
continues to
That's
claim
his
that they're lying,
evidence.
they ought to provide their
Well,
evidence.
what's your evidence, fucker?
And now is the
Yeah,
point
yeah,
at which
I don't
the
know.
facts on the ground
Piece
have
of
changed.
shit.
I don't know.
And so either you ought to shift your opinion based on the facts that have now emerged, or you ought to acknowledge that this was never a fact-based inquiry in the first place.
Yeah, this is very
This
convincing.
was never a fact-based
It's just so
inquiry.
funny.
Fake club losers, dude. Him and Jordan Peterson, it's like just by defining they think they sound smart.
I mean, but it's also like what I've never been able to wrap my head around with him specifically is like he sucks, dude. He's
Yeah,
like who's persuaded by this?
Well,
who gets this? Like I don't know. It's like you are like that is like as much of like a like test of humanity as like the Voight-Kampff test from Blade Runner. Like, to me. Like is like your emotional response to that.
I just
I
love
do
that there's
see it,
no
though.
more motion for these guys, though. Like the conservative movement online and independent spheres had this moment of like.
I'm sorry, you doubt that the Daily Wire will rise from the ashes like a phoenix
Yes,
from its
I do.
recent
I do doubt it.
economic struggles.
Even with all of the Wilkes money that they can get from the oil and gas industry, I do not believe that there is any motion for them any longer. No more future for them. But also, what I was gonna say is they like the problem that they are experiencing is that this is a more holistic issue within the audience. There's no more market for like nerdy intellectual conspiracy or not nerdy intellectual conservative guys. There's just no more market for that. They just want like an Andrew Tate style guy,
Race war.
or they want exactly race war guys or like anti-Semites who are trafficking in conspiracy theories, things like that.
Also a lifestyle thing. I think one other piece of this I was thinking about it is that like the discrete like the separate like politics influencers as like its own like sphere or whatever, like that doesn't kind of hold anymore. Like now it's like also like a life like you are an avatar of like
It's
a
a one-stop
lifestyle.
shop thing.
Exactly.
It's like,
And so
that's why all these podcasters are getting into becoming more political. Is that like expressly political? Is that they see it as where the market is going as an entertainer. Like now, an entertainer has to be one or the other, which sucks dick. I hate that. But like that makes so much sense.
It'll
It's a guy that they
it'll
like
eventually
to
go
lift
away.
weights.
Yes.
Like they follow they follow every aspect of it.
And also, like, we live in like a fallen, stupid world, and like part of like what this kind of media, the structure of like media that we have is really good at broadcasting people as like, even if they don't say it as such, like this is a role model. This is a role model. Be like this person. Be like this person. Like people call it parasocial and stuff or whatever.
Of course,
but, like you could use your label for it. But there is to me like that kind of piece of it is sort of like like a guy like Ben Shapiro, he doesn't really offer much outside of this specific thing that you were saying. Like
He makes you feel
already.
smart if you
Right.
want to like convince your friends. If you can try to like repeat what his talking points are, but there is no market for that anymore on the right. I don't think they don't give a. They're living in a reality. They would rather live in an alternative reality where they're just like completely hallucinating.
Yeah, it's not about like nerdily knowing facts.
Yeah.
It's about just saying whatever you want to be true.
Yeah,
is
get
true.
get owned, lib.
Yeah.
Like there's people that think like Kilmar Burger Garcia had the MS-13 tatted up on his knuckles. You know what I mean? Like that is a totally separate plane of existence. But let's hear what Alex Jones had to say in his Cope sesh about.
Oh yeah, that's so special.
And
now
then-
taking questions from the press, and Trump just went off, basically blew up at a reporter for bringing up the Epstein
Dude, I haven't seen him in a while.
whitewash
He's got
project
like a
witnessing.
evil goatee and he's bald.
and that's what it is.
That's a
Oh,
cool
yeah,
new
he's-
look.
And I've told everybody this is going to be.
shredded.
Yeah, he's like it's like Don Logan from Sexy Beast a bit.
He looks like big.
Like-
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
like,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like-
he's getting shredded too.
Dude,
My
this
goat.
is so weird. What
Yeah.
happened to the flow? What happened to the hair? It's gone.
Ozempic Jones, baby. I think he's like doing TRT too. Probably
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why his hair is just
That's
gone.
why
I
he looks
can't. I
like.
can't.
I
wait
mean,
to get off
He
fucking
also kind of
steroids.
looks like Michael Chiklis from The Shield.
Yes. That's a cool little.
but,
screen.
like-
that's a cool little pause. Like he looks.
Also,
cute.
it looks like he's been in a. His eyes, like the skin around his eyes, looks paler than the rest of him.
Yeah,
It's a little-
yeah. He looks weird.
Yeah, because he's out in the sun, getting his daylight, getting his sunlight. It's good for the skin. I'm sun tanning my asshole.
huge yesterday, and the Democrats are seizing it now because you've got
What?
You want to order the thing?
Cash Patel
Oh, you
and
wanna order food.
Bondi
Oh,
and
is that
all
the-
of them
oh,
saying,
no,
yeah,
sorry,
we
that's
raided the
what
other
you wanted to do.
Oh, I
offices
thought
of the
we were
FBI.
Oh, no, we'll do the thing. Okay, I got it.
Wait, see, Stavros is locked in. He's not worried about hunger right now.
I'm locked in, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta see.
He
You got
wants to
sexy
see-
Alex Jones.
He wants to see what sexy Alex
No, I'm
Jones
gonna go
has to
home.
say.
I'm gonna make myself. I'm on a little bit of a. I'm trying to be like sexy Alex Jones.
Oh, fun.
I'm gonna make me a Greek yogurt pizza. You can make. Listen, folks. Here's a little fitness tip. Flour and Greek yogurt together makes a great healthy pizza crust. You throw a little marinara on that bitch. Some fat-free cheese. Some turkey pepperonis.
Are you sure you don't want food? I'm gonna
Maron.
order food.
No, I don't.
You couldn't come up with a plan to cover this up and have it blow up bigger. If you're going to cover it up, you just shut up about it and say, oh, we're investigating. But no.
This
No.
is the famous ear thing, saying that this is.
So
this is how
I
it goes.
want Trump to succeed. I've investigated this, and the victims, over a dozen
I'll
of
let
them,
my room get that.
that are confirmed victims of Epstein, who fingered Bill Clinton and all of them, said, no, we never saw Trump at the island. We never saw him at Zorro Ranch. We never saw him.
He's just, bro.
I like
you-
the we there is doing a lot, I will say.
He is doing so. He's doing the most, dude.
Yeah.
He's doing
What's
the
his argument?
fucking-
Is that
He basically summarized it yesterday, where he said like everybody knows Trump was not involved in Jeffrey Epstein at all. All the other pedophiles said that Trump wasn't involved in the sex parties. like, and basically his like last ditch defense here is to claim that Trump is blackmailing the blackmailers with the pedophile blackmail to like attack the deep state.
It's just QAnon shit. It's just that like Trump is like wait for it, like the storm is come whatever.
storm is still coming?
Yeah, all that bullshit. Like it's the same. I just don't think anybody's buying it. I mean, like I think people who are plugged into this.
I mean,
ecosystem,
he's even half-hearted.
No,
Yeah.
totally. People are plugged into this stuff because it's like entertainment to them.
Not a single person defending not releasing the Epstein files on my half dozen or so True Social posts. The closest is Bannon level defense where Trump is being strong-armed. That's the minority, though. Yeah, this is like, listen, if this is an incredibly important thing for the base, okay, anyway. Yeah, some of Mamdani's far-left allies want to primary Hakeem Jeffries and other New York City Democrats, and they got issues with that. We're going to be covering that in a second. But, yeah, getting back to the Jeffrey Epstein client list and Donald Trump's short response against it.
The president was asked about it before he took office.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah,
Would you declassify JFK files?
yeah.
Would
I
you?
did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff
Yeah.
with that whole world.
In February, Attorney General Bondi fueled the fire.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yesterday, she fought back against the criticism.
It's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein.
But the effort to provide answers has raised even more questions for some. For CBS Mornings, I'm Scott McFarland.
New this morning, outrage among the president's own supporters over how the Department of Justice is handling the so-called Jeffrey Epstein files. In a series of scathing posts on Twitter, longtime Trump ally, fierce supporter Laura Loomer called for the president to fire Attorney General Pam Bondi. This all happened after a memo released by the Department of Justice and the FBI this week said that accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein died by, confirmed that. The Attorney General also said there is no evidence that Epstein kept a, quote, client list, despite previously suggesting there would be some kind of bombshell. CNN's Elena Treen live at the White House this morning, where this just doesn't seem to be going away, Elena.
Yeah, John, and it's not just, people who are in the MAGA movement, in the president's base, and I will say there's many. It's not just Laura Loomer, but many other prominent.
At least, like, the media loves hitting Trump on this stuff by constantly putting him, constantly presenting this as, like, him pissing off his base, promises made, promises kept, that the story continues, Because that's the only reason why they're covering this. The only reason why they're covering this is because it's like a great way to hit the anti-Trump line, To be like, oh yeah, he lied to his base is mad, controversy. So I guess like it's still in the news and it's still going to keep tuning people up and anger them even further.
People like Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, the list goes on, who have been really reeling from the drop of that memo that the Justice Department released on Sunday, essentially concluding, in their words, that Jeffrey Epstein died by and that there's no so-called client list. But there's a lot of people as well inside the White House, the president's own officials, who are increasingly frustrated with how not just the Justice Department, but specifically Attorney General Pam Bondi has handled this. I mean, I spoke with one Trump advisor. They said that Bondi had bungled this case from the start by overpromising some of the findings that they were anticipating. Another advisor told me that this was a political nightmare, questioning why they released this at this point in time and the way in which they did it. Again, releasing this short memo and also leaking it to a certain media outlet. Look, part of these problems as well that adds to all of this is Bondi's own claim back in February when she was doing an interview with Fox News where she said she had the client list on her desk for review. Now, she was pressed on some of these questions yesterday during the president's cabinet meeting and tried to argue that she was referring to the broader case. I want you to take a listen to both that interview, but also her response.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
Now, look, we talked to a lot of different people following Bondi's answer there yesterday in that cabinet room who said essentially they are not satisfied by that answer, particularly given so many people in the MAGA movement, so many of the president's supporters, and including even some people in his own administration had previously argued that there was so much more to this case, particularly wanting to unearth potential accomplices to Jeffrey Epstein, not totally satisfied by this. Now, the president, for his part, John, has argued that this is old news. He kind of dismissed some of the questions on this yesterday in that cabinet meeting as a desecration. And we are told that he's not acutely annoyed with Bondi herself. He was briefed on some of these findings last week by Bondi and the FBI director, Kash Patel. But still, a lot of people inside the White House not exactly happy with how this all played out.
All right, Elena Trine at the White House this morning. Thank you. With us now, CNN political commentator, Republican strategist Michael Singleton, and Christine Quinn, the executive committee chair of the New York State Democratic Committee. And just to review some of the people calling for Bondi's head here. Again, it's Laura Loomer, fierce supporter of the president, putting out these tweets. She needs to be to the investigation. Elon Musk, one-time friend of the president, saying, how can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release the Epstein files? And then Megyn Kelly in Politico pointed this out this morning, said of Pam Bondi, her days are numbered as a member of the Trump administration. I mean, Michael, this isn't just one.
Wait, what? Scam Blondie needs to be fired? Look, we all know what it's like. Your desk is a mess. You spill your coffee. Whoops, no Epstein list. Easy mistake. YouGov question showing bipartisan agreement that it was not sure, 40%, was 39%, committed 20%. That is amazing. This is from July 9th. Okay. This is yet another instance where the desperate media attempts to change discourse on this issue is an abject failure. Okay, your audio sucks. Wait, what? Really? I think I'm getting one guide again. Also, I need to do something here. I need to turn on the laptop camera and just do laptop camera for a little bit because I need to turn off the I need to turn off my regular camera to charge it because it just didn't get charged earlier, so it's going to be ass for a little bit. Apologies. but I need to do that so I can charge the camera a little bit. Your audio was 100% fine. Oh, CNN is crackling. Yeah. That's I know. It does do that sometimes. I don't know why CNN's audio does that. So yeah, it's Zoom. It's a Zoom call experience for y'all now. Okay. What laptop is that? Is a good camera? I don't think it's a good camera. I mean, it's not great. I don't think. Big drama. We'll do that in a second. We'll do that in a little bit. Big drama. Big drama. What's your MAC address, lol? I don't know. Why would you need that? Not a single person defending not releasing the Epstein files on my half dozen or so Truth Social posts. The closest is Bannon level defense where a Trump is being strong-armed. That's the minority, though. Yeah, this is like, listen, if this is an incredibly important thing for the base, okay? And it is for the Trump base. And Trump just completely botched the release after claiming he was going to do this. This is a real promises made, promises not kept moment. Okay? And I do think that people have the capacity to basically claim, Trump had nothing to do with this, or Trump's hands are tied when it comes to like ending the war in Ukraine, right? Like there are so many things that Trump claimed he was going to do and then didn't do, right? Day one, I'm going to end the wars in Ukraine and in Gaza, right? That was bullshit. He hasn't done that. But at least like there's a defense for it. In this circumstance, this is something that a lot of hogs care about. And I do too. I mean, call me a hog. This is something that a lot of people care about, that the Trump administration absolutely has all the power to release, and they are refusing to do so after claiming that they were going to do. Okay? This isn't like, oh, well, through a long and arduous legislative session, we were not able to get you the things that we promised we were going to get you. This is directly something that these guys claimed that they were going to do, knowing full well that it was something that these people cared about and are now refusing to release. That's why there are very few hogs and hogettes out there who are even remotely defending the administration. One of the funniest things here, however, is that when the Trump administration gets into panic mode, as they clearly are in this, okay, because they are in panic mode overall, Trump will probably try to hit the parachute, hit the ripcord, and try to either throw like a dispersal mechanism here and try to shift attention away from this to something else in a way that like in a way that the admin, or in a way that like his, what is this audio? It's scratchy. Is it? Why is it? No one else is saying it's scratchy. I'm getting 2 guide, potentially 3 guide. Anyway, what I was saying is Trump will try to get his hog audience's attention and move it in the direction of something else desperately. Okay. Also, there's a golden Kappa train now. So Piker Broadcasting Service is brought to you, the viewers, by you, the viewers. Your voluntary donations in the form of a subscription will allow you to use emotes and also support the show. That's the only way to support the show. If you're watching the Piker Broadcasting Service and you're thinking to yourself, wow, I really like this guy. How do I support him? How do I show my support for him? Well, you can do that by subscribing. You can do that by gifting subs as well for others. The Piker Broadcasting Service is only funded by you, the viewers, for you, the viewers. Your subscription is in the form of a $6 a month subscription or a free one in the form of a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Offer me editorial independence. Piker Broadcasting Service thanks you, the viewers. What is this? California officials are failing to protect girls on the playing field and in the locker room. The Department of Justice has filed suit. Going into the replies and seeing the big bad tranny rhetoric is not working on the right wingers is honestly amazing. Oh my God, they try to do it. They try to do the trans thing. This is either an insane lack of self-awareness on display here, or they enjoy gaslighting us. Officials are protecting. Officials are failing to protect girls. Yeah. Oh, they're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Nice try. Why haven't you released the files? Someone said you were Florida's Attorney General from 2011 2019, question mark, and that's when the Epstein flight logs were public. Victims were coming forward with lawsuits. Evidence was in abundance, and you did nothing. You didn't do one thing. No probes, no investigation from you. Florida, wow, but here's your chance to do the right thing, but you won't because you need to protect Trump. You aren't about protecting females at all, stupid bitch. How about you protect them from the Epstein client list? Oh my God. Oh my God, they are trying it. They're trying to do the, hey guys, I know the Epstein client list is a big deal for a lot of y'all, but have you considered trans people?
Several weeks, the Department of Education has notified the Department of Education in California, as well as the California Interscholastic Federation, that they were in violation of Title IX. They were allowing men to compete in women's sports. Now, this is after years of their being in violation of Title IX. We informed them that if they did not change, that we were going to refer these cases to the Department of Justice, and we have done.
Will you ever apologize to Ethan Nestor? I don't think I've done anything wrong to Ethan Nestor. That's my friend.
Exactly that.
Thank you, Secretary McMahon, for all of your hard work. And today, the Department of Justice has filed a lawsuit against California Department of Education and the governing body for women's sports in California. We've made it very clear, only women in women's sports under Title IX. An example in California,
did you guys ban him? You don't need to ban this guy. It's fine.
He would have lost every race.
He said God is not real.
In women's sports, he won over 36 medals. Those medals should be returned.
Oh my God. This is again. Oh, finally, the trans deflection method is failing. This is like bringing this back to my, personal experience. It's like watching the Hassan parachute cord being ripped so hard that it doesn't work anymore. This is precisely what's going on here. They're doing the trans people parachute cord, and people are not even remotely interested. Gunther Eagleman, shut up and resign. Sick and tired of you blatantly lying to the American people. They finally found something they're angry about than trans people being happy. I love that. I told you, we finally found something. And I said this would be it. I said this would be more impactful than even not ending the wars. There are some who maybe fantasize about Trump being more aggressive against Israel. You know what I mean? In the base. There were some who may have voted for him that are not immediately in the base, but voted for him nonetheless because they truly thought that he would be a peaceful dove. You can still continue duping those people, but this is a real schism. It's the dumbest thing to potentially have a schism over, but it's one that is obviously impactful for these people. So instead of getting them to go, instead of making fun of them and being like, oh, you guys thought he was going to release this stuff, even though we all knew he wasn't going to release this stuff, we should welcome these people and help them radicalize in the direction of the truth. Because there are a lot of people who feel upset. W Trump, W Israel, W Trump. Hell yeah, brother, you're right. Weird time to say W Trump and W Israel while we're talking about the Trump administration refusing to release the Epstein client list. But considering we know that at least Ehud Barak was was directly involved, former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak was involved with the Epstein. He was an Epstein affiliate. He's like, this chatter's like, W pedophile rapist, bro. W. Thanks, chatter. Chatter's like, W pedophile rapist not getting W victims of pedophilic sex trafficking not getting justice. I love that. Trisha Hope, national delegate for Texas, who is a January 6th activist, says, I have been to 42 Trump rallies. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's a crazy number. After the first impeachment, I drove to D.C. and spent 2 weeks walking the halls of Congress to encourage Republicans to support President Trump. I sat in the hearings and I supported President Trump. I was there the night he was acquitted. After the 2020 election was stolen, I went to see 2,000 mules. I was livid at the lack of action. Oh, God. That's embarrassing. That's so embarrassing to admit that you got duped by a Dinesh D'Souza production. God damn, dude. Have some self-respect. At least lie. Okay. All right. It is charging. Okay, good. At least lie and be like, I wouldn't mention that if I were you, you know? I was livid at the lack of action. I contacted Dinesh D'Souza and told them I wanted to deliver Republican members of Congress. They donated 200 copes. I went with a team of 4 to D.C. and personally hand-delivered each one. When it became clear that J6 was a setup, I started helping J6ers. I met with members of Congress on their behalf. I was able to get a donation of 435 American Gulag Chronicle books to deliver to Congress. She's like a trot in her her effective praxis is just doing pamphlets. Okay? This is basically the American Trotsky. I would like to write many pamphlets. I wrote many pamphlets about the American Gulag. Myself and a team organized by Trumpertarian delivered 535 copies to every single member of the House and Senate. I worked for the last 3.5 years to help free the J6ers. I organized Trump events, became a state delegate, and then a national delegate. I recently made a donation to the Smithsonian in honor of the J6ers. I say all of this to tell you I am done. President Trump's lack of concern for the Epstein victims and his callous response to the reporter's question ends my relationship with him. I will not support a man who denies justice to the victims, who in this case are children, and mocks the question. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Controversial opinion time. But maybe these people are so stupid that they literally do think trans people are doing pedophilia. Because I always used to think like, oh, they just cynically say that, like in an effort to just be transphobic. And it is transphobic to operate under the assumption that like queer people are doing pedophilia. But I guess these guys like they are honest about their interest in combating pedophilia. You know, is the noise gate turned off? No, it's not. See, you can't hear it. They say it so much, they start believing it. No, I think a lot of people I just assumed were just cynically saying that to smear trans people. Now I realize they're just incredibly stupid and incredibly hateful, and therefore they actually believe those lies. And that is part of the reason why they hate trans people. Oh my God, Axios scoop. Netanyahu chats with pro-Trump Nelk boys. What the hell? We gotta make sure that the young American manosphere is pro-Israel. I'm here to ensure that the manosphere remains pro-Israel. That's crazy. We'll look at that in a second. Hold on. But yeah, Evan Lowsworth says they finally found something they're angry about than trans people being happy. Yeah, that makes me happy that there is like something that they genuinely care about. That is cool. Okay, let's continue with this.
Now, it's a lot.
Yeah, now Trump ally Laura Loomer, who has actually demanded restructuring in the National Security Council, is calling for the head of Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi. If Laura Loomer is capable of getting Pam Bondi out, I'm going to lose my mind. That's crazy.
Not getting quieter, it's getting louder.
It's not getting quieter, and she made a statement that many believed was accurate, which was that she was going to attempt to prosecute the individuals, whether it's Republican men, Democratic men, who were engaged with Jeffrey Epstein and doing some pretty atrocious and disgusting things against young girls in young age.
I wonder, maybe there were people in the Trump administration who legitimately thought that there weren't any like Republicans implicated, and it was just like Democrats that were like pro Jeffrey Epstein or something. And then they found out that there were a lot of Republicans associating with Jeffrey Epstein, and they're like, oh, we can't release this shit. What are you talking about? This is like half our donor base. and also half of the politicians as well. I'm joking. They knew that this was never going to be released from the start. And the only miscalculation here was the lack of response that they perceived. They thought people would not get incredibly angry. I think that is the only real miscalculation here. They looked at the situation and they thought, oh, they won't get mad. They'll forget about it. Nope. There will be people, as I said, that will get mad about this more than anything else. And why shouldn't they? This is a real promises made, promises not kept moment for Trump.
Young women. I mean, what type of society doesn't rally around protecting young girls and women? I've been involved with groups in the past wanting to bring and shine a spotlight on these types of issues. And my hope would be the top cop in the nation would take this very seriously. And she really isn't. And a lot of Republicans are scratching their heads, questioning why. I think this is a bipartisan issue. I think Americans want these powerful men, whoever they are, to be brought to justice.
And the president was asked about this in this cabinet meeting yesterday. Let's listen to how he responded.
Oh, God. I know. Newsom got the Jim Jeffries endorsement. Or not Jim Jeffries. Jim Clyburn endorsement. I know. He's running. Gavin Newsom is running. I will talk about that in a second.
And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on that.
This response was so organic. I'm going to keep it $1.50. This was such a bad response from Donald Trump. It is actually like this is one of the worst things he could have said and one of the worst things his administration has done in terms of like impacting the base, okay? I'm telling you, this is an issue of major consequence. An issue of major consequence. This is not like, oh, why do you care about this? Like, people love that you talk about this and other things like this. It's crazy that you would just be like, excuse me, we have more important things to talk about here. The only time Donald Trump is refusing to read the room is when there is something tremendously important to him that requires him to shut off that side of his brain. Because Donald Trump is such a room reader that he will sometimes say things that no other president will ever say. Okay? Even if he doesn't follow through on those promises, like, he will just come out and say it. This is one of those moments where he just straight up is like, oh, why are you talking about this? Don't talk about it.
At a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration.
See, the president's wishing it away here, but it was his own supporters, right. People like J.D. Vance, not to mention the people we've all listed there, talking about the Epstein files all during the campaign. I mean, this was a thing that his people were pushing, and now he's like, nothing to see here.
Right, his people pushed it. His appointee brought it back up square in front of everyone with saying there would be prosecutions, things would be released, and now nothing. And what's a desecration is what happened to those girls and those young women. Not
Trump is hitting the no politic here. Israel number one. Israel number one. No politic here.
Reporters appropriately asking questions, which are not new questions, but follow-up questions to what Pam Bondi had already put out there. And when you make promises to prosecute, to release information, and you don't, that come up. And it's a terrible thing that there are people saying the president might be on the list. How horrible would that be? They can put all of this to rest